Hello, this is Dean Phoenix with episode 6 of my Bioshock Infinite 1999 Scavenger Hunt Achievement walkthrough. So this is picking up where we left off last time, just after the handyman throws the sort of bin lid, cuts you off, and Elizabeth and Booker agree to continue on together as a means to an end. So there's a piece of gear here. If you didn't get all the gear, you can grab that. There's a telescope. Take out the enemies. I like to possess the flying turret first because two things. One, I want to possess the two machines just for a little bit of crowns, and if you do that while the enemies are about, they will start a fight with you. But more importantly, one of these machines is a dollar bill, and one of these machines is an armory, Minuteman armory one, and this has the upgrades that I want to get here, which I find to be very useful. So as I mentioned in the last episode, I will be using the volley gun, so I'll leave that up to you if you do, but I would definitely get the fire rate boost for the sniper rifle. The Comstock Eye 35% damage will already be there, and the recoil decrease is kind of useful but also quite cheap. It's only 288 silver eagles, I think. You can also get the reload increase for the shotgun. So the shotgun and sniper rifle is a really good combination if you just want straight no nonsense things like that. The volley gun is a little more personal preference. I love it. The ammo is not particularly common in some parts, but if you use it properly, I feel it's one of the absolute best weapons because it's relatively quick firing, it deals out a ton of damage, and it can be used at pretty much any ranges apart from sort of point blank because it's an explosive weapon. So you see here I've got the volley gun, and I have full ammo for that already in just a minute. So make sure that you unlock this section. There's you literally go through that door right next to those machines. There's a couple of guards, 2 guards to take out, and then you can clear everything else out here. So there is an infusion, very important to get that. I actually put it into the 10th one into salts there, and I get salts and shield before starting on any health ones. Now here you can also see there is a ton of volley gun ammo there, and an actual volley gun itself on the desk as well, so if that is a weapon that you want to use for this next bit, you can do. So it's one of my main weapons. That and the sniper rifle are pretty much my main weapons going forward. And because of the extra money we got from farming the infinite gear and getting a ton of money at the same time, you can afford quite a lot of upgrades if you've done that yourself on 1999, which I covered in a separate video and also mentioned in the last episode. So here there is a potentially tricky fight. There's a lot of enemies, and more importantly there's a Patriot, which can be very dangerous. So just take it out with whichever weapon you feel like using. If you're using the volley gun like I am here, you can use it to deal a lot of damage at distance, which is why I really like it. Now here I was quite impatient. You could just back off and let your shield recharge, but I just wanted to make sure I got as much damage on the Patriot as possible, so I do end up letting my actual shield go down there and waiting for it to recharge. Now there are quite a few enemies, but as you'll see here, I do actually get ambushed by the ones who come round behind you, so just be a little bit mindful of that, because I start taking damage and then I remember, oh yeah, there's enemies here. So again, shotgun or volley gun, whichever one you want to use, whichever close range weapon you like, can be very useful. And bucking bronco, if you get in a bit of a pickle, can be very useful as well. Take all those out and then scavenge around. Make sure you unlock the safe, get all the stuff there. So once you've progressed and picked up everything there, you can go back upstairs for the volley ammo before you take this lift down, and then we get introduced or better acquainted with Mr. Fink as we do the Finkton section of the game. Bunch of good stuff to get here. The hand cannon is first available here as well. The hand cannon is quite powerful. It has a really high critical modifier, and it's very good at all ranges, so you have to be quite accurate with it because it's a sort of magnum type weapon, but it can be very good, and the critical damage for like headshots, gear shots and things is really high. Now here, if you didn't do the gear farming trick, then you want to restart checkpoint here until that piece of gear is Winter Shield. You absolutely want Winter Shield from here on out, because every section of the game as a handyman, who are otherwise very difficult, has hooks or lines that you can use with Winter Shield, which is a piece of gear which gives you invincibility when you're jumping on or off skylines or hooks, which is absolutely amazing. So make sure that you get Winter Shield if you don't have it already. Now, one of the things that you can also get is when you've cleared this area out of enemies, there are rockets there on this section of the roof, and also make a note that if you're using the volley gun, there is a ton of ammo for it there. And also in this back area, there is another decent chunk of ammo for the volley gun. So this is what I mean about the volley gun. If you're watching out and using its ammo properly, if you manage the ammo you have for it, it's an extremely good weapon, and I think it's better than the shotgun. But the shotgun has more plentiful ammo, it's very damaging at short range, and that and the sniper rifle are an excellent no nonsense and easy to manage combo, so you can use those as well if you want. The hand cannon can also be used as your short range weapon. That needs you to be a little more accurate than with the shotgun or the volley gun though, but it's also very good at long range, so go with the weapons that you're comfortable with. But for me, I got the volley gun damage upgrade and the sniper rifle ones, and those are my two main weapons. So when you've gone to Chenlin's gun shop, you come out here. Just be aware that this is where we have the first handyman fight, and this is why I've been harping on about getting the Winter Shield gear, because it makes handyman fights go from being potentially very difficult to being extremely easy. So what you can do is you put on Electric Punch as the hat gear, or even Burning Halo if you want that, and then you change to Winter Shield for your chest. And this is why Winter Shield is absolutely insanely good for these. So you can use something like Headmaster or Brittle Skinned. Brittle Skinned is probably the best. And then you can switch to the Handyman Nemesis gear that you got, because this version of the game has all of the extra gears. So that's Burning Halo, Brittle Skin, Winter Shield and Handyman Nemesis. And what you can do is you can take this thing out barely firing a shot. So instead of being extremely difficult enemies, you just jump onto the hook and then you skyline strike them, which will set them on fire most of the time, and also activate Brittle Skinned, which means that they take more damage. And then when you see Winter Shield go to half its value, meaning it's going to run out soon, then you can just jump back on the hook and jump off again. And as you see, Brittle Skin makes sure it takes twice as much damage as well, and makes it insanely easy. So that is the easy way to deal with handymen. Handymen. And then afterwards you can go up to this bit on the roof that we showed before, and if you're using the volley gun, you can stock up on your volley gun ammo again before going into the Good Time Club. Don't forget to switch your things back. So here I go back to Urgent Care and Blood to Salt, and then I use Overkill as the boots pretty much for the rest of the game. And here I will be switching to Sheltered Life, which is my favourite of the hat gears and is very powerful, which is the piece of gear that gives you invulnerability when you eat a snack or a health kit. So here we've got a ton of combat. This room's actually really fun. Even on 1999 mode, I love it. I love the combat. It's tons of fun. Now that tear up at the top that was on the top area, you can make use of with Sheltered Life. So if you do take any damage, you can go and grab a large medkit, and it will also activate Sheltered Life. So if you're struggling with the combat in this area, just make sure that you're aware of that. So if you throw a ton of the Shock Jockey traps here, you can use Shock Jockey and any combination of Bucking Bronco, Possession, Murder of Crows, whichever things you've been finding most useful. I like either Murder of Crows and the Shock Jockey combination, or pretty much anything. So Bucking Bronco does the same thing. So there's a fireman, and you want to disable it with either Bucking Bronco or with the Murder of Crows. And then you can see here that you can keep Overkill, which is the gear that's making them explode when they get killed by excessive force, and you can basically just take them all out like that. So that's the first wave. Pretty simple. Just use those disabling vigors. Don't let them get out of that area, because you can just kill them all at once, and it's very easy with the vigors. There is a tear here for volley gun, so if you're using the volley gun, again, this is a good way to keep your ammo up for it. I absolutely love it. Or you can just, use your shotgun otherwise, if that's what you're going with. So the next enemy, first of all, you've got a crow, and so you've got to take him out. So I would use the bucking bronco or even a bucking bronco trap for that to see which way he's going to come up. Get the trap, and then you can knock him into it and take him out quite easily. Grab the salts from his body, and then a bunch of other enemies come up, and you can just kill those with anything else that you use, like the possession and shock jockey combination, which I use quite a lot. Or basically just whatever's most convenient. There are plenty of salts pickups around here, absolutely loads of them, so just make sure you're bearing that in mind. Don't cheap out on your salts, there's no need. Like, I could have just possessed that guy there easily. Make sure that you get behind cover, make use of urgent care if necessary, and that you keep your volley gun stocked up if you're using that as well. See, that's why the volley gun's really useful, because it can also sort of disable people, because it staggers them if you hit them with the explosion as well. So this is the main part of the fight. When you've cleared out those human enemies, you've got the automatons, but this is actually pretty easy if you have your tactics correctly. So shock jockey, very useful against the machines, so you can shock and possess this one first. It's easier to just shock jockey it first, but as you can see, it'll make it very easy to take out the other turret, and then it'll also do some good damage to the motorized Patriot, and you can take that out with a lot of critical shots. Shock jockey, and if it deals you any damage, you can run to the far back area and use the tear, which had the large medkits in, because that will let you use sheltered life. So when you've cleared out this area, that's absolutely fine. You can possess and do whatever else for these machines that turn up. And then there's a ton of stuff to grab in this area. So there's a safe in one of the rooms, and there's a dollar bill machine to possess and all that kind of thing. So just be careful, take them all out, and with the sniper rifle and whichever of your close range weapons you prefer, it's pretty easy if you use those tactics. Just don't forget, if you are struggling or you look like you're going to take a big load of damage, those medical kits there and sheltered life will make you invulnerable, so you can just hover around that tear and you've got 4 full med kits there. So using those in sheltered life should be absolutely fine with the ton of salt pickups that are about. So you carry on, and we've just got a load of regular encounters. Just make sure that on this bit here you are making sure that you pick up this little code book, which is for the area in the first part of the Finkton that we were before, and lets you open that cipher and get an infusion on the way out. So you progress, and we've got this tear here, and once you do this, it changes quite a few things in Colombia, because Chenlin is here, he's deceased, and then when you do the tear, he no longer is. Now once Elizabeth comes through this tear, you also have the repeater, which should automatically have the first damage upgrade on it. It's very small capacity and in terms of its clip, but it's a lot more damaging than the machine gun, and it has a good critical damage as well. So the repeater can be very good, especially when you get upgrades later on, and its ammo is a bit more common, as we'll come to find later in the game. So on the way out, there's a few enemies to take out as well. Again, there's plenty of resources and in this area, and there are probably still a load left, but the volley gun tear isn't there anymore. So if you want, you can try and save your volley gun ammo and use other stuff such as your salts and your possession and all that kind of stuff. I go for the very simple version here of just using the salts and the salt combinations and the hand cannon, taking them out, and with the stuns from overkill and things, it's pretty easy to do that. So once you've taken those all out, we will have sorted that area, and we can get ready to make our way to Finkton. So please like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you next time for the next part of the walkthrough. Thank you very much.